Alif,
Yeah.
can you help me?
Yeah.
I want you to do this internal and reaction forces for our design. Can you do this?
Sure, can.
Okay, thank you.
How do I solve this problem? This is very difficult. How do I do this?
Hello, is this Puan HIDAYAH? I'm ALIF from BAKAR Holdings and I want you to cooperate with me and want your service to create a coding regarding our problem about internal force and reaction calculation. Can you help me?
Yes, Alif, I can help you. I will ask my staff to contact you later, yeah?
Edreena, are you free?
Yes.
Can you help me?
Yes, madam.
There is a company interested to cooperate with us to make a coding for reaction and internal forces calculation.
Okay, I will work on it.
Okay. But yeah, I will send you his contact for further cooperation.
Okay, yes, madam.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is HIDAYAH binti Abu Bakar. Today we are from Group 4. We will share to you all about our reaction force and international force program were created by a Python. I will start now by a little bit of introduction. Basically, the computer programming can be defined as a process of creating code to execute the specific action and explain it on how to perform tasks in an application. Nowadays, programming is necessity that every career need and use in this industry. As shown in this project, the civil engineering using Python for reaction force and international forces calculation. This is due computer programming, especially Python medium, is more easy, simple syntax, safe cost, and can widely used rather than engineering software such as Pro that has limited application. In simple terms, the programming using Python is a recommended way to solve complex and crucial problems quickly and efficiently. Now, I will to explain what is the PDSC. PDSC is a program development life cycle, that series of steps or sequence for developing a software or program. PDSC also assists in design and maintain computer program as well as maintain relevant and user-friendly to community. As shown in this slide, has 6 elements, which is we will start by assemble and evaluate the program elements. In this part, all of the program requirements need to be determined in order to create a coding to solve reaction force and international force calculation. Then the second PDSC elements is design of user interface, which is usually have password and menu of program, such as in this coding, user need to key in the number 1 or 2 to proceed the calculation. Then the next element is design the program, which is in this part, before create the coding, we need to plan the flow of coding. First, by construct of the flowchart and pseudocode that apply control structure. After that, at the stage of execute coding, user need to key in all of the distance before execute the calculation to display the result. Then the program need to be reviewed and testing in order to ensure the program will be operating correctly. And the last one, operation and maintenance, to ensure the program always updated and stay relevant. Next, the problem statement in the studies. In the structure phase, the reaction force is the first thing need to be determined by applying the static equilibrium equation. Although the reaction force calculation is easy, but most engineers will be easy to careless on this part, especially when too many supports. When the calculation is wrong, this will affect on the wrong estimation amount of load can be transferred. Same applies to the international force. It becomes difficult in manual calculation when too large number of beams. Usually, an engineer will use engineering software such as Pro, but it limited application rather than coding just by a Python. Thus, as simply how to make a user-friendly system and responsive tool for engineer in order to execute analysis of reaction forces and international forces of beam. This study will create the coding to solve this engineering problem. Herewith, As shown in the slide, 3 objectives that need to be achieved in these studies. First, to determine the reaction force and internal shear forces of beam. Next, to create the efficient application by using Python that user-friendly, secure and responsive that help the industry. And the last one, to correlate between civil engineering problem with computer programming Python.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Najiah binti Azman. So this is our flowchart. The arrow line, which is called flow line, used to indicate the flow of logic by connecting symbols. The oval shape used to represent start and end of flowchart. The parallelogram shape used for input and output operation. And the rectangular, which called processing, used for arithmetic operations and data manipulations. The diamond shape is a decision which is used to represent the operation in which there are two alternatives, true and false. The circle at the end of the arrow, which is called on-page connector, used to join different flow line. The rectangular and the triangle shape combined together, which is called off-page connector, used to connect flowchart portion on different page.
My name is FAIZZUL and this is our pseudocode. Pseudocode is a notation resembling a simplified programming language used in program design. This is our pseudocode.
So we move for our first coding interpretation. So first, this is program element, which is comment. So comment used to separate the coding to make sure it's easy to understand, and comment also to show and class the code to its function or purpose, and this will be ignored by the compiler. So this comment only read by the user and not the program compiler. So this is our example for comment, which is comment for calculation operation. So you can see it must be hashtag in front of the comment. So that's all. For the second coding interpretation is program element also under keyword and reserve word. So keyword is display command for input gathering, also displaying output. It can show either number or alphabet and its function only for display the command print word. So for our keyword we use in this project, which is print. So you can see we need to put the keyword in front of the word that we want to print, such as print welcome to our international force calculator. So the program will print welcome to our international force calculator. So that's all for our program element keyword. Next, which is also program element, which is identifier. So identifier is storage location in a memory. Also, the variable will hold the data type based on what identifier is used. It will make the user free to fill with their own input, number, and also alphabet. So the identifier we use in this coding project, which is input and also float. So float will hold the data, which is number, and input will ask the user to input their own numbers, alphabet, or the things that state in the coding. So that's all for our identifier, which is also program element. So next for our coding interpretation, which is control structure. So in this project, we use control structure if, else, and ALIF. So it allows statement to conditionally execute or skip over, and also make the coding to be tied up with condition. So for example, the users need to fulfill the characteristic or requirement for option 1. If the user not fulfill the requirement for option 1, it will down to option 2, and if the user also not fulfill the option 2 requirement, it will down to option 3. So that's all for our coding interpretation control structure. So last but not least, this is our last control structure, which is looping. So in this project, we use while looping. So it will make the statement repeat until the user enter the correct answer. And also the coding will loop to the start point if the requirement for loop is not fulfilled. So this type of looping suitable for coding to design a login page or make password. So as you can see, we use a while loop and we combine with the reserved word and. So the user need to fulfill the two condition. So if the two condition is fulfilled, the print will be the output. So that's all for our coding interpretation.
For discussion, firstly, the requirement is the calculation of reaction at A and reaction at RB and RA. The requirement required to use static equilibrium equation to calculate the reaction force at RA and RB in terms of variable X, L1, and P. User had to input length L, point load P, distance from P to A, X, distance from P to Q, I, and distance from A to B, L1. This coding only use the basic coding to make it using equation from the data input. The second requirement have three conditions, which is the first is input distance of point load from A, X is less than distance of point Q from A, I, which X is less than I. The second condition is X is more or the same than I, and the third is I is more than L1. We show it will be invalid. The above condition use if, ALIF, and else as a choice coding to make coding to know the choice if the condition is fulfilled or not. The last requirement is when the length of beam is less than the length of the beam section AB L1, it will loop back to the data input to make the user input the data back to make sure the requirement is fulfilled for the loop. This all requirement is the coding to make sure the coding is fulfill the requirement based on the rubric. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Adrena and I will explain about user manual. So for the first user manual of our coding project, we gonna run the coding. Okay, it will come up with this. Enter your name. Welcome to our internal shear force calculator software. Do you want to proceed? So enter the number yes, 1. And then we're gonna start our calculation. There is 3 conditions. For first condition is the length of beam in meter. We're gonna put our beam in 50 meters. And then our point load of value, let's say it's 78 kilonewton. And distance point load from point A is X, which is we're gonna put it 25 meters. Distance Q from point A is the I, is 27 meters, which is condition 1. I is bigger than X. And our between A profile B is L1. We're gonna put it, let's say it's 30 meters. And then we got get the value of reaction and shear force at condition 1. So we're gonna have condition 2, which is point load A is bigger than I. Just we're gonna run it and then we enter yes, enter your number and enter the full length of it is 50 meters. Point load 78 kilonewtons. Distance point load from A, we're gonna put it 25 meters. Okay, which is this is condition 2. Distance point load from A, X is bigger than I. Distance Q from A, so I we're gonna put 23, and the distance A from B is 30 meters. And then we got the value of reaction at point A and point B and the internal shear at condition 2. Okay, now we doing condition 3, the last condition, which is invalid condition for where I is over than more than L1. Okay, so we're gonna run our length 50 meters, our point load value 78 kilonewtons, x 25 meters, distance from point Q from point A, which is I, we're gonna put it 26. And this is condition 3, where L1 is lesser than I, we're gonna put it 23. So we got the condition is invalid because the length of point Q from A must be more than length from B, which is this is incorrect, but we only got the reaction, not the shear force.
Okay, this coding is good, but I need to confirm with my boss later.
Okay, so anything just hit me up.
Okay. Okay, boss, I have found the coding for our problem. So this is our coding.
Okay, that's good, and we will proceed with this design.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Najiihah binti Azman. I will be presenting about our conclusion. So projects in civil engineering can be extremely important to the growth of a city or community. Program Development Lifecycle (PDLC) has been successfully applied in this project. PDLC improves in facilitating communication, identifying and managing risks, enhancing quality and boosting productivity. Time is very important in civil engineering field. Python applications have thus been developed to help users, particularly in the field of civil engineering. There are several advantages of Python. It is simple to read and learn. Python makes things simple for you even if you are an experienced software developer because it is simple to read. In this project, internal and reaction forces are more way easier to be determined. Just by entering the information needed, then the result will automatically appear. Next, Python helps in saving time. Instead of doing manual calculation, using Python can automatically calculate any data. Just need to create the coding and insert the formula that will be used. Engineers can build algorithms around enormous data sets that the coding language can manage to achieve the goals they need for their setups. Consequently, it is a language that is very helpful in areas like machine learning. Applications like this greatly facilitate users and will produce more innovative and creative society in the future. That's all from me. Thank you.